Videos of the adventures of the Philippine American couple. If you're catching us on the replay, we appreciate you more than you know. I am David. Stick around, we're going to let people get in here and then we'll get excited about our nightly topics, how to grow, how to get old, how to make money, anything you want to talk about, we talk about on this channel. We are not like a lot of other channels that are scared to death of things. We are not. So, sit back, hang out. Pat says hello. Pat, good to see you, buddy. How are you? I'm trying to get how to restart my desktop. It was acting a little slow. So, what's going on in your world, Pat? I'm going to pull up the chat on the big screen so I can see it. Ooh. My doggy videos are getting a little bit of play. You doing good? How's your, did it warm up? It warmed up for us today. So I'm kind of happy about that. Kind of happy about the warm up here. It's supposed to be real nice to the weekend here. And then a little bit of rain on Sunday. There we go. And I found us. All right, now I can see the chat. Make sure you do the thumb. Mark, how are you, man? It's going okay, Mark. It's itchy. Probably can't see very well. I got a video coming out next Tuesday about it, but I got the staples out yesterday. Boy, it itches though. Yeah, good enough close up. Yeah, there's 3 of them. They're all just kind of laid on top of each other, I guess. So it'll heal up all right. But Mark, thank you for asking. I gotta figure out how to button my shirt now. It's almost like I forgot how to button my shirt. Yeah, it was a pretty easy one, to be honest. You know, not to diminish what the doctor did, because he is a good doctor. But what I'll say is, all we did was replace the unit, not the leads to the heart, which is a much simpler operation for me, for him, for everybody, right? So if they have to replace your leads or put your leads in, then you're immobilized for a while and so forth and so forth and so forth. And it's a much bigger operation. When I had it done the first time, I was in a sling for quite a while. A lot of activities I couldn't do because of the leads in the artery. But, yep, hang on. I almost missed somebody. Q is in the house. Are you Q from Star Trek? You know, Q, I remember Q from Star Trek. I don't know if anybody's out here Star Trek fans, but I don't know if Star Trek just couldn't think of a good name for that guy or not, but I remember them calling him Q. I'm a Star Trek fan, not a Star Wars fan. So, well, what's going on in your world? There is a message I sent a brother the other day. Did you read it? Let me check. No, I didn't see it, Pat. Let me read it. So Pat is, I've been having problems walking some. I got a big knot on my left pinky toe. It's causing nerve pressure on your left foot. Uh-oh. What are they going to do with it, Pat? Have you gone to the doctor? Okay. You got to go to the foot doctor. That's good, man. That's what I would do. I'm trying to get caught up here. I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball today. So let's see. All right. So John, how's things going up north? Q, how's things going up north for you? There's a message I sent. Okay, yes, I got everybody caught up. Nice. I'm all caught up, 100%. Yay, me. So yeah, the heart surgery wasn't that big of a deal. The pacemaker surgery, I guess it really wasn't heart surgery. So, wasn't that bad. I do got a video going over it coming out Tuesday. Because, you know, I try to keep making videos and putting one out every week, even though I do live streams. Because I think it's just a good way to do YouTube. I don't know. We are, Big John says, or Q says, getting a little cold tonight. It was 26 degrees the other night in my part of the world. So if it was 26 degrees here, it had to be like negative 952,000 at your house. Found my truck plug-in for cold weather. Nice. Hey, you're going to need it up there, man. You may not have needed it living in California, but up there in the Great Lakes region of the United States of America, you're going to be needing it. X-rays of the foot. Well, hopefully it's just maybe like a corn or a bone mass, like a bone spur, and they can just kind of like go in and grind it and cut it off. So I'm live on some Filipina TikTok. Are you? What are you doing on some Filipinas TikTok? Wow, you're live on TikTok with a Filipina. I thought you were married, John. Wow. Yeah, we do a little bit of TikTok, not a lot. I've been trying to do more and more TikTok. I haven't done any live streams on TikTok yet, but I have been thinking about it because I've been thinking about doing something different with our channel to try to help it grow and to reach everybody. And I'm thinking about like using one of those streaming services that allows you to legally and okay-wise with YouTube and TikTok and other platforms where where you can put like a playlist together and your videos can just run live stream wise just over and over and over forever. So I've been thinking about doing one of those. John Q says she's an old lady married. Well, that wouldn't have mattered to my wife. My wife would still poke a pin in my eyeball. But I understand, John. It's all right. I won't tell on you. On Ian's channel, one of his in-laws died. She had a baby. The mother, wow. We've had that happen too, Pat. I mean, it's so sad how easy it is to die, not just in the Philippines, but in a lot of countries, unlike Western medicine. And I talk about this some because I don't think the doctors are bad in the Philippines or third world countries. I just think they have a totally different philosophy in how they do medical stuff. You know, here, maybe it's because of the insurance companies, I don't know. But here, we seem to like to get crazy and be very, very, very aggressive. If you have a complaint, you know, they're on it, right? You know, we're way more aggressive of a medical society in this country. And maybe it's because they all make money off of us. But very sad. It is sad. You know, she's probably a younger person, right? And that's one thing Lorelai, you know, Lorelai's had 3 cousins her age pass away from simple stuff that in America, we would have been in and out of the doctor's office. They don't give an aspirin after stroke? Why not? That's not a good philosophy. Strokes, you need aspirin. Claude's in the house. Claude, how are you, man? Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How are things going in Texas? Appreciate you. Hey, Claude, I was thinking about you today, to be honest, because I'm thinking, you and I have talked about live streaming and stuff before. And today I was working on I've been trying to study YouTube the last couple of days and learning more about the new things that are coming out. And I was just thinking about you because we've talked about how to make our channels better in the past. So doing good, nice. Everybody said hello to each other, by the way. Yeah, I agree. A person should take an aspirin. I take aspirin, baby aspirin every day. There's a new school of thought on baby aspirin. I don't know if you knew this or not, but a lot of cardiologists now doesn't think one baby aspirin's enough for maintenance. They're now thinking that you need to take 3 baby aspirins if you're doing a maintenance program for baby aspirin. There's a lot of heart doctors now think no, it should be done this way, especially younger ones. Claude, good to see you. Appreciate the thumbs up. But yeah, because I'm looking at the streaming services, and YouTube made some announcements about how they're going to add some things to the new streaming platforms, blah, blah, blah. So I was just happened to thinking about you today. Mother-in-law had a stroke. Give her aspirin. Maybe I'll move this a little closer so I can read it. You guys don't mind looking at my beautiful face. Had a stroke, said he gave her aspirin in the short time after her stroke. Yeah, no, you got to do the aspirin. 60% better recovery. I agree. We were taught that from day one. I mean, growing up, I've always, first aid. When we were taught first aid in college, Nara TV's in the house. Everybody say hello to Nara. Nara's great. She's in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Everybody say hello to her and support her channel. Cole, I see your vlogs on Facebook after you post them. Yeah, I'm trying to cross promote, but I'm also thinking about doing one of those other, because YouTube's changing for some reason. YouTube has done they're not helping us young people anymore. They're changing. They want to become like a TV service. So they're not really pushing and helping us. They're hurting a lot of channels right now. I know that much. Like has done Nara TV. Thank you for that. Pat says hello to you. Friend. She is a good person, good channel. They never gave her aspirin. It's just crazy, man. You got to give aspirin at strokes. Look, and here's what I tell people. 99% of the time, giving somebody an aspirin is not going to negatively affect them. So even if she's not having a stroke, is it going to hurt to give somebody an aspirin just in case they are having a stroke? Nara says, hello, Pat. Good to see you, Nara, my friend. Yes, Nara, anything exciting going on your channel? Same thing with Claude. Claude, I see that you keep putting out a bunch of videos. So everybody make sure you check out Claude's videos. So that's kind of my perspective was, well, is it going to hurt? No, it's not going to hurt. I mean, if you gave somebody 100 aspirin, maybe, but if you give them 1 because you think they're having a stroke and they're really just having a bad migraine, well, it's not going to hurt anything. I don't know. So, but I don't think third world medicine is necessarily bad. I just think it has a totally different philosophy in management and patient management. I do. I think it's just totally different. They don't get excited about things. They're not, they're not in a hurry to make you better type of thing. It's kind of like just sit back and wait. Like, yeah, I see that your arm got cut off. Well, you got a tourniquet on it, so can you come back tomorrow? Type of vibe. Everything's okay, good for you. Nice. I'm sure you're having nice weather where you're at compared to us. It's been almost like winter here. We had a couple of days of freezing temperature up here. But but yeah, I found out because when I had to go to the emergency room a few months ago because I was really having a bad day medically. I thought it was either my heart or my lungs or my kidneys. We didn't know what it was, and they don't know what it was. And I found out because I was having chest pains, my heart was acting up. So we went to the emergency room, and I was talking to that young cardiologist there. One thing that made me mad was I don't go to this hospital that the emergency room is in for my heart. I go to a specialist in another town that I really like. But every time I have to go to the emergency room for a heart condition, they always ask me, oh, well, if your doctor is in Fayetteville, why are you coming here? Well, because I thought I was having a heart attack, you morons. And every doctor always says, go to the nearest ER, and you're the nearest ER to my house. You're right there. But as soon as we get stable, I'll leave and go to my doctor. You know, we always have good weather in Kenya. I know, man. I know. I know. We don't. Hospitals don't want to lose the gravy train. Come back tomorrow. Yeah, well, in the Philippines, it's like, oh, make sure you bring cash. And I do think, I don't know, because I don't know, but I kind of believe a lot of them are more worried about, well, do you have the money to pay me before I start treating you? If you have, money to pay me, then maybe I'll get a little excited about treating you. But if not, I don't know. In America, they know the insurance or the government's going to pay the bill one way or the other. Yeah, you're right, John. I have changed locks 4 times since I've been in Texas. Nice. John says, I got to be careful. No, John, no. I think the internet bugs get me sometimes. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Well, I fired doctors. I have. I have flatly said, I think you suck, will not be seeing you, and got different doctors, without question. I've also had one doctor, a very good doctor, tell me with my sarcoidosis, my lung disease, he's like, there's not a thing more I can do for you. There's just really not. So why don't you go to the Mayo Clinic? We need to do something different to get, or you can just kind of live with it. And so I live with it, and now I have a different pulmonologist, but I only see them once a year, and they go, yeah, it's still there. They take a CT, make a bunch of money off of me, and send me home. I fired doctors over the years. Yeah, Pat, yeah. Lorelai went to a doctor this year, I think, that really pissed me off. I don't remember what for, but our appointment was like at 11 o'clock. We show up at 10:30. Well, 11 o'clock rolls around, 11:30 rolls around, 12 o'clock rolls around, 12:30 rolls around, 1 o'clock rolls around. I'm getting ready to leave. And then they put us, and I asked, all right, look, we've been here 2.5 hours. Where the hell's the doctor? And I'm thinking, oh, he went to lunch. And so that's, no, we can get you back in the room now. Then we waited another 30 minutes. And when we got out of there, the girl was like, oh, well, we need to reschedule an appointment. And I said, the hell you do? Isn't that right, Lorelai? Nephroprolol? What the hell is that, Lorelai? So I'm like, no, we're not going to work with you. You people suck. You could have came out and, no, a neurologist. All right, yeah. You could have came out and said, I'm sorry, the doctor is greatly delayed. He's having lunch with his buddies, drinking beer, and he doesn't got time to squeeze you in until after lunch, even though your appointment was before lunch. You could have came out and said that. We would have, well, okay, we'll go have lunch and come back. Pat saying hello to your Lorelai. That's right. You got to watch the algorithms, the domain, the internet demons. I know, man. Got it live. I know. I got turned off the other Tuesday night. I'm tired. Monday night? I don't know. I got my stitches out. You guys want to? If you want to see my scar, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see my scar. Lorelai doesn't want to see it, but I got the staples out the other day. I took a shower today. I'm all good. I'm tired of waiting. Dr. Stress kills me. That's right. I have to go, guys. Take care. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Claude. One of the days we'll have to talk again about YouTube, and see what, we can come up with any brilliance. Lorelai is saying, hello, everybody. The Pro Fisher, good to see you, buddy. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a little bit. We've been busy. You've been busy. How are you? Everybody say hello to the Pro Fisher. Thank him for his thumbs up. Doctor, you put me in stitches. Staples, technically. I think staples hurt more to get out than stitches. I know they work better, but I would prefer to have stitches because when you cut stitches, you just snip it and pull it. With staples, you got to bend it out like this. So I think staples hurt more. Maybe next week, not today. It's not safe to remove the tape. The tape's already gone, Lorelei. Tape's already gone. It fell off. It only takes a day or so. Those don't stick on. She's talking about like butterfly bandages or just tape. Pat saying hello, Pro Fisher. That's Pro Fisher John, not Ronald the Professor. I've been good, sad about the winter coming through. I hate ice. Yeah, I know, but you're one of those crazies that will go ice fishing. I'm a warm weather fisherman. As much as I love fishing, and I will go fishing each and every day of the year if I could. When the weather gets cold, my happy ass is not going fishing anymore. I used to fish in the winter months, trout fish, ice and snow coming down, icicles off my beard while I'm freezing catching trout. No way. Not anymore, man. I can't do it. Hello, the Pro Fisher. Yeah, but you're gonna keep ice fishing and winter fishing though, are you not all season? Or all year, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, Lorelei's probably sitting in the background going, his tape came off. I'm going to call his doctor and tell on him. That's all I got to say about that. Yes, the title of the video is correct. Lorelei says my dog Lily has stinky breath. Just wanted to throw that out. I'm not saying it. She's saying it. So now today I had to buy a doggy toothbrush and doggy toothpaste. Is that right, Lorelei? I know you're listening. We've been having very, very cold weather lately, so it just keeps getting colder. Yeah, no, you might not. No, it is, I think we're going to have a rough winter. My guess is being a rough winter. I think we're going to have a bad winter. I think it's going to be a cold, wet, it's going to be a bad winter. Is fish at Costco, Walmart, the Sam's Club? What? Oh, there you go. You can go fishing at Costco's, Walmart, or Sam's Club. Yeah, you might want to go at the Asian market. Well, our Walmarts don't have fish. Well, no way. You could go fishing at Bass Pro Shops. But I'm the Toothless Wonder. You can go maybe the Asian stores and pretend you caught it. Yes, Lorelei says she knows how handsome I am. Yeah, down where I am already getting, yeah, I know. I saw a bunch of snow up north in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. My son will have a fun winter in New York. He's in New York, right, John? I really do think because watching the almanac, I think we're going to have a rough winter. There's about a stretch in my part of the world from like Springfield, Missouri, all the way down to Fayetteville, Arkansas, that stretches all the way across the country, out until you get to the west. That's supposed to be the battle zone between warm and cold. And they're saying, the almanac says, that when it does hit, it's going to hit really hard. It's going to be violent storms and dump mass quantities of whatever it is, ice, snow, or rain. There's a ski hill about 8 miles away with chairlift, so I will take, oh, nice. Okay, you're talking about the local boy, yeah. Well, I think that is good. Pat, you didn't get any snow yet. I know Pat's they're not quite that far when I looked at the snow map the other day. We're not looking forward to it. bad hell and snow all winter. I think it's going to be rougher this year. I think the persimmons are showing a spoon. I saw that somewhere, and that means heavy snow. NAR TV saying, I wish you guys can go on vacation in some other country. Me too. We're just poor Americans. We don't get to travel that much. No, I'm with you. A cruise to the Caribbean, to the Virgin Islands would be great right about now. We hope to take a European cruise next year if we can swing it. We're hoping to do a European cruise next year. We're going to get it bad in Columbus. Yes, you are. Yeah, John, you might want to get snow tires. And I had friends that lived up in Minnesota, and they moved down here to Arkansas, and they used to tell me that they had to take a cooler with them in the back of their car so that when they went to the grocery store and bought milk, they put the milk from the grocery store into the cooler so it wouldn't freeze by the time they got home because the trunk of their cars would be so cold. Yeah, we won't need any snow tires here. Lorelei has a Subaru. That Subaru can go anywhere. And I got my old beat up fishing truck. So, but we don't have enough. Usually, if we get snow here, it's gone in 2 or 3 days. I heard something on the passport changing on the news also, YouTube talking about it. Something, did you hear about the passports changing? No, I haven't heard. I know there's a lot of misinformation about dual citizenships for Filipinos. That's a bunch of garbage. The news, there's nothing new. There's a lot of people talking back there going, oh no, look, you're not going to be able to be a dual citizen. If you are, you're going to be deported. There's nothing happening on the dual citizenship front. So I haven't heard anything about the passports at all. Now, they may be tightening the restrictions if you get a new one, if you're brand new to the passport world. Maybe the verification process might be a little tougher, but that's all right. A lot changing the first thing that needs to change at the airports is they need to get back to work, We need TSA officers back on the job. Well, I think what he's doing, John, you're right. John is saying, I heard that Trump is trying to change housing to a 50-year mortgage. I don't think he's trying to change. I think the correct word would be he's trying to add a 50-year mortgage option. I don't think he truly wants to do that. I think it's a red herring to get the interest rates down. Because he's going to say, he's telling the Fed, if you don't lower the interest rates, we're going to start doing 50-year mortgages and drop the payments for people to buy houses. So I don't think you'll see 50-year mortgages. But that's why they're doing that. I think they're pushing the Fed to drop it. So that's what I think. It will be an option like a 15, 20, or 30. But I don't think, because it's really not up to Trump or the government, I don't believe. I mean, the banks are the ones who decide how long they will give a mortgage for. So it's not, maybe the government has to approve it, like the FDCIA or whatever they are. I don't know. But I can't imagine Trump would have any power in that, you know what I mean? Or any president. Because banking industry does what banking industry wants to do. Tim's in the house. Good evening, Tim. How are you? Everybody say hello to Tim. Good to have you, Tim. Also, they're taking away. You might want to retype that, Pat. Hello, everybody. Tim says, Pat, you might want to clarify what you said because wrapping. Let me get my eyes adjusted, Pat. I got you. Wrapping pennies going to the bank. So they're saying you can no longer take pennies wrapped to the bank? Well, around here, they didn't want you to bring in wrapped money anyway. because they were getting scammed. And so they would want you to break it open and put it through their counter, and then they would rewrap it. So around here, I know for a fact that our banks didn't take wrapped money from individuals. They may take them from a business, but here they would crack it open and count it. Nara said hello to you, Tim. Hello, Pat from Tim, correct? Yeah. So I think that's just every bank is a little different. I don't think there's any hard and fast law or rule about it, but that's kind of what's happened. Been that way here for, God, I don't know, 20 years, where they won't take rolled coins. They won't do it. They'll take them, but they got to crack them open, run them through the counter, and then that's how they pay you, or transfer it or deposit it. So I found my fuel, water, separator, drain plug on my diesel Dodge Ram 1500 truck. That's good? Is that a good? I don't know anything about diesel motors, John. Is that a good thing? Yeah, banks need to verify them out, and that's what they do. I mean, yeah, and they've been doing that here forever. So now I know they're talking about doing away with the penny. Okay, I don't care either way because I know it costs more money to make a penny than what a penny is worth. So I know they're doing that. I don't know when that's going to happen. I haven't heard any hard and fast rules about when that's going to happen or how that's going to be. Are they going to do a great big penny drive? Or are they just going to not make any, and then as we phase them out, we phase them out? I don't know how they're going to do that. Are they going to, I don't know. I don't know. I think we got to be careful about messing with money too much. I do. I think we got to be a little careful about that. So it shows on the dash when water needs to be. Why would you need weight? I'm confused. What water? You mean like radiator water, John? Because I really don't know anything about diesels. So it shows on my dash that water needs to be drained. You mean radiator fluid water? Because that's the only water in my truck is radiator fluid. Canada did away with the pennies. All right. No pennies, all prices don't include pennies. Okay. So should we collect pennies or should we spend them really quick? Because I think I got a few pennies around here somewhere. I don't know where. So, or will they become a collector's items for our family members in 100 years? So should we save back some pennies and then leave them as inheritance to our children's children's children so that someday they will have pennies when it's year 3020 and they can go, I am rich now because I have these long lost pennies that nobody's ever seen. You got to think ahead, boys and girls. You got to think ahead, right? I don't know. I don't know how many pennies are out there. I wonder if they know how many pennies are out there. Okay, I got you. That's from the condensation in your gas tank. I understand what you're talking about. Yes. I worked at a truck stop I was a manager of a truck stop many thousands of years ago. And I understand that the fuel systems produce condensation. I do understand that. I remember that part of it. Because we would sell a whole lot of fuel additives that got rid of the condensation. Penny for your thoughts? Come on, man. I'm still trying to get somebody to give me $5 million to buy Lorelei a house. But I can't even get anybody to give me $10 to buy Lorelei a house. Man, I'm not giving my pennies away. I don't need a thought, But I'll take your penny. If anybody wants to get rid of their pennies, I'll give you my mailing address. I'll turn them into the U.S. Mint and I'll become the penny millionaire. How's that? Maybe that's the key. Maybe this is a good side hustle. Everybody should run around, collect up all of the pennies they can find everywhere, take them off people's hands, take them home and just get them all in big bags. And then when the recall comes in to take all pennies, you got them all. Then you have all of the money. I'm telling you. Just telling you, man. I just gave you guys all a multi-million dollar concept, side hustle. But I don't know. There's so much fake news, fake garbage out there on the internet now, especially with AI, that it kind of drives you crazy. You got to really sift through crap and go, what? Because I see stuff all the time and I go, I don't know about that, you know. So let me go and check that, you know. Copy this. Copper might be worth more than a penny. Yeah, it might. Well, the rumor is it takes 3.5 or 2.5 cents to make a penny. I'm going to Google pennies. What's the situation in penny? Let's see if we can figure this out. CEO filed bankruptcy and had to start over. He turned 5,000 on some side hustle. Oh, I just saw something on pennies. Here it is. Let me sit up so I can read it. I knew a man, they gave pennies to children. They figured out he gave away about $500,000 a damn. The U.S. Mint produced the final penny on Wednesday, today. It costs almost, it doesn't cost that much to make a penny. The coin costs almost 0.04 to make, and the any production will save more than $50 million annually. Some retailers have expressed frustration about the penny shortage and lack of guidance. The U.S. Mint on Wednesday, the final penny. I wonder how much that final penny is worth. If you can get your hands on that, woo! Man, I wonder where that went to. Who got it? Elon Musk? So he just put it in the Mars? I'd like to have that penny. That penny probably worth a couple $100 million in a week or two. They said the production of the city has been said there would be around 300 billion. There's apparently 300 billion U.S. pennies in circulation. All right, there's the answer. Pat, believe in ghosts? Yes. Trump, autistic son, knows how to invest. 33 million turns into 180 million. I agree. Where did he get all those millions? There you go. I didn't know he had an autistic son. You're talking about the young boy? Yeah, I didn't know he was autistic. I know he's at Columbia or New York, NYU college, but I didn't know he was autistic. I don't know, but he doesn't seem to be on the spectrum. He seems to be really tall. Takes money to make money. It does. So you either got to steal it or make it, right? Pat says he believes in ghosts. And he doesn't just mean Halloween ghost. Tim, how are things in the Philippines from a news point of view? I know they've been, I've been watching some videos out of the Philippines where politicians are speaking up about the flood in Cebu was not natural. It was because of humans' greed. Really? Well, he may be like Elon Musk said. He may turn out to be a genius. I believe in spirits. I left my spirit in the room. But you never know. He might be. I don't know. I've never met him. It may be why he seems to be so quiet in public. But then again, maybe he just doesn't have anything to say. Maybe he's one of those people that unless they got something to say, why say anything? What I want to know is how did he get so damn tall? That boy's tall, and he doesn't do sports. But, you never know. And I think in today's world, if he was, they would be happy to announce it, kind of thing. Because there's such a big push for autism awareness in America, which is a good thing. So I don't know, maybe they would do something. They say the super typhoon last week is supposed to enter the Philippines area of responsibility. Oh, God. Yeah, I know what I've been watching is kind of like a pissing contest. So the people that didn't make any money off of stripping the mountains in Cebu are the ones bitching and moaning about the people that made all the money stripping the mountains. So they're the ones saying, which is true. They just got a different agenda. Their agenda is not science and logic, it's greed. So the people bitching about the people, they're all guilty. Yeah, he's really tall. Was Lurch really that tall, though? Was he really a tall guy from the Addams family, or did they just kind of have him on those big shoes like Frankenstein or Herman had? Remember those big clunky shoes? How tall was Lurch? I'm laying on my back roller. I have an old man back, yes, and an old man mind. Nara, people do talk about ghosts and spirits, yes. I don't think that there's anyone who's ever seen them. Platform shoes. Well, Nara, I don't know about that. And I don't know how your country, which is a great point and topic, see about spirits and stuff. In America, we think we see them on a regular basis. Shapeshifters, all kinds of different things. Spirits, and they may not be like Casper the Friendly Ghost, and I personally believe that there is something out there. So I'll talk more about that. I want to see how tall Lurch was. Damn, Lurch was 6'9". He was 6'9". So, and Pat says, let me get here. Disco shoes. I believe in ghosts. Band started dancing shoes. Bandstand dancing shoes. I've been attacked by spirits. It's not fun. Spirit energy. Yeah. So, Nara, I really don't know how you guys, the weird thing is, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but from an American standpoint, we think African countries, Caribbean countries are more into belief of the unknown than Americans are. We do. That's kind of our perception. Our perception is between our misconception of voodoo and all that other crap down, in the Caribbean and spread out through South Africa, that's kind of our impression from movies. Tim says, I am not for sure if I believe in ghosts. Well, I don't know what to believe. I really don't. I mean, I really think a lot about this I think there's energy that we don't understand, whether it's a spirit energy of a human or a spirit energy of Dennis coming into the live stream late, you know. Dennis says, boo, everybody. Hello to Dennis. Everybody say hello to Dennis. I do believe in mass hysteria. I think we believe a lot of shit that's not real. I think humans are easily persuaded and convinced of things, you know, except for giving me money so I can buy Lorelei a house. Apparently I can't persuade anybody to do that. But I could probably persuade you to believe in a ghost ate my dog, you know. That's what's crazy. I could probably convince you that a ghost, my dog's a ghost or reincarnated human, before I could convince you to give me money. That's kind of the funny thing. Hello, Brother Dennis. Dennis. Hello, Nora says hello, Dennis. I want my money back. My notification failed. Well, why? Why did it fail? You got to maybe do better. We've been hearing, Dennis, that YouTube has been doing this a lot. Apparently, YouTube is not our friend. They're not giving us, I don't get notifications of things. And I don't know why they're so bad at this. Do they need to have Elon come in and bring one of his technical engineers to fix YouTube so that IT problem could get resolved? I better, you know what I mean? Because you would think that's a problem that can easily be solved. I get notifications, Dennis, of live streams 2 and 3 days after they happen. I think it's an individual belief. Yes, Nora, I would agree with that. But I think we believe collectively. I do think everybody has individual beliefs, but I think belief is more powerful, stronger when it's done in a group. That's why everybody goes to church. You know, most people don't believe in God by themselves. They believe in groups. You know, whatever group it is, you know, whatever it is that you believe in, spirits, ghost hunters, that's why they collect into groups, because the belief system is supported by fellow believers, UFOs, all of those, flat earth thing. Well, there you go, Dennis. Tim is throwing you under the bus, telling you how it is. Sorry, but ghosts don't have any money. They don't have pockets to carry me. Dennis said he subscribed to Yanara. Thank you for doing that, Dennis. She's a good young channel. Doesn't do anything wrong. So, join the Nora train. That's right. But I do believe that's how it works. And I think your belief system, if you don't have reinforcement, it wanes and goes away. And reality comes in. She says, thanks a lot to you, Dennis. I appreciate that. I will do the same, even though you don't have a channel. I will do the same. So, I don't do the old YT thing. But yeah, interesting enough, YouTube's changing some things. I watched a video that Spirit investigated studied a place for a couple years. They could not disprove it was real. They couldn't disprove it and they can't prove it. That's the problem. And in science, we want a definitive answer, right? We want a, yes, he was intoxicated. No, he was not. We want yes or no. And the problem lies in between when we can't make a yes or a no. That comes in the greatest debate in the world about everything. You can't confirm or deny. So what are you going to do? That's where the belief system comes in and your choice and your individual choice. But I do think it's easy to persuade people. I have watched and learned and talked about in the past with others at the teaching level a lot of these psychological experiments that have gone on where they've convinced people of one thing or another, or groups of one thing or another. And they wholeheartedly will do it. These social experiments. It is easy to manipulate a group of people. It's harder to manipulate an individual, but it's easy to manipulate a group. And that's one thing we got to keep in mind. I like trying to prove that God exists. Well, a lot of people. I don't know. Let me see what I think about that. How to say this? Well, I guess you have the true believers and the ones that. I guess here's my thing, Tim. I guess if you're trying to prove that something exists, then you don't believe that it exists, right? Or you're on the fence, you're on the cusp. Because I know people that are 1,000% convinced it's real. They don't prove anything. They try to indoctrinate you into whatever their belief system is. They want to bring you in to join their fold, but they're 100,000% convinced. They don't feel like they got to prove anything. They just got to save you from the bad that you're in, no matter what it is. I don't know. A lot of people talk about, do they try to prove that God doesn't exist? So, I don't think you can do either. I don't think you can prove either. It's a belief system. But why don't people there's people that try to go, okay, I'm going to try to prove to you that he exists. Well, nobody tries to prove that he doesn't exist, I don't think, right? Is there a category for that? It's like the alien things. With the extraterrestrials, you got a lot of people that believe, and they're going to try to convince you either side of the coin. I believe absolutely no. I believe absolutely yes. And they love to try to convince you. John is recommending a book called Lead the Book Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. So, I think that's, and what I talk about when it comes to religion is this. Man, I have so many thoughts on religion, it's unbelievable. I think religion has been tainted by humans. So I don't like modern day religion. I think a lot of it is just there to scam people. It's not the value that's scamming the people, the values of that belief system. It's the people manipulating the values of that belief system to get what they want, to manipulate to get what they want. And that's for every religion across the board, every faith. Muslims are doing it in America like you can't believe. They are working hard at it. Baptists do it, Catholics do it, everybody does it. Mormons do it. We will find out in less than 100 summers. Well, for us, because we're old, we won't live to be 140. But, you're right. Usually the human body doesn't make it past 100 summers. But the sad thing is we're never going to know. We can never share the information back with anybody. You know what I mean? So, John, for instance, if you figured it out definitively, you can't tell me about it. That's what's sad. If you die and you figure it out definitively that you're in heaven, or your heaven, your version of heaven, because that's what I think heaven is your version, you can't let me know. That's the sad part about it. I agree with that, Tim. You do not need to be a part of a collective to have that belief. So, and I think there's a lot of misconception about that, Tim. So I agree with you 1,000%. I think houses of worship a lot of times are not good places. Not saying the people are bad. I think they're just not good places. Because when you get into a house of worship of any kind, you truly got to believe what that house of worship believes and does, or you're not welcome there, which is perfectly fine, right? That's kind of the trade off. If you're going to go to a Buddhist temple, then if you're going to go there as somebody, practicing, well, then you need to do that, right? But if you're going as a visitor, it's one thing. You still got to be respectful of the Buddhist temple. And I've been to a Buddhist temple. Awesome. Buddhist temple was one of the most spiritual places I've ever been in my life. That and the Grand Canyon. So you do not need a structure. I totally agree. You do not need people telling you. Why people like this is they like houses of worship because they're longing, they're missing something. They're wanting the friendship, the camaraderie. They're wanting to be a part of a brotherhood, a sisterhood. They're wanting to be, that's why people go, I tell people all the time, that's why people join gangs, because they want to be a part of something. So a lot of people go to church or houses of worship or whatever you want, or Buddhist temples because they want to be a part of something, because they're lonely. There's something missing out of their life, and they're trying to find that, whether it's in a gang or whether it's with church or the military or becoming a police officer where you're a brotherhood, or a fireman and now you're a brotherhood. I hope to be tits up in the Philippines. Well, you mean in heaven? When your heaven is that? Well, I'm trying to think there, John. I think for me, a ideology. Look, my ideal version of heaven. When I was growing up, and my grandparents always believed, and I know Pat does too, that because they kind of come from the same background. My grandparents always believed that their heaven consisted of being reunited with family members. That's not heaven to me. But my grandparents believed that. They truly did. Their heaven was they're going to get to be with family. I'm kind of like me, I don't want to be with family when I'm dead. I don't want to be with them alive. So why would I want to be with them in heaven? So I have been lonely in big houses. Oh, I agree. I agree. And that's part of the problem with worship centers. You might say, little coals to the fire, you just come from heaven. There you go. If you're not part of the clique, and this is the bad thing about churches, you need to be a part of the clique, right? You're the part of the rich clique in a church. You're a part of the clique that is dysfunctional, that you're coming to church to be fixed, which I think is extremely rude if you go to a church and they automatically assume you need to be fixed. Well, there's something wrong with you, brother. So you're at the right place now. We are going to get you fixed. No, there's nothing wrong with me. But thanks for thinking that there's something wrong with me, I guess. So, but if you don't do those clicks, if you don't buy into it, if you don't sacrifice your time, energy, and finances, you can be very, very, very lonely in a worship house. But my ideal of heaven would not be to hang out with family members. Sorry, guys. Intentions to tell the truth. Yes. I've been told kind of the same thing, Tim. I'm a loner. I like it, but I don't like to be alone. I get you. I'm kind of the same way. I tell people that I am truly an introvert who is a professional Can't even think of the word now. Not an expert. Introvert, extrovert. I am a professional extrovert, is what I am. When I need to turn it on and to become charming and handsome like myself, then I have no issues with that. So, but I prefer to have a very, very, very small group of people around me. I'm homely, but I like hugs. You do. You're not homely. You're just, homely, but I like hugs. So I kind of get that. And I think the older we get, the better adjusted we get to being alone as humans. I think we recognize that we're all going to die alone, right? No matter how many people around us, we're still going to die alone. That's just the way it is. We recognize, one, we don't need a bunch of crap around us. Two, we don't need a bunch of human crap around us. So we don't need all of the drama of 50,000 people around us and their crap. So their emotional crap, their emotional baggage, which I don't like. I don't want emotional baggage. Like, I'll listen to you, I'll give you my advice, and then shut the F up and go away. Implement the advice or don't take it, whatever. But let's not keep this drama going on forever and ever and ever. Less is more. It is. It's a hard one to truly do. I'm going to admit, I believe in the philosophy of less is more, but I don't do it. I believe in that philosophy. Less is more, but it's something that I have not been able to achieve. John is homely just like me. I think we're all a little bit of what we call homebodies. I think most people on the internet, to be honest, are a little bit of a homebody. Otherwise, you'd be out at the bars hanging out with the women folk, or you'd be volunteering to go do this, or working, or doing something, right? So I think most of us on the internet are a little bit of homely people. You are right, Brother David. I am. It's hard to admit, Pat, but yes, I am right. I just don't like drama. Save the drama for your mama and tell your mama I said hello. So I think it's good to have constructive conversations about things. But when a person can't open their ears and hear and listen to what's going on, then there is no conversation. And that's a big waste of time. You don't just stay home. You take your son a lot of places, John. You and your son do a lot of running around. So save the drama for Obamacare, which ain't going to be funded anymore. So there you go. No more Obamacare. But John, you do a lot of activities. You and your son are all over the place, which is a good thing. Keeps you young at heart. I mean, if my legs were better, if they weren't on fire and in pain every day, I would do a lot more activities. I would. But I wouldn't do it with a lot of people. I mean, the good thing is for me, it's like this weekend, we're going to go do a bunch of Christmas stuff and live stream Christmas World, right? Now, I can be in a big crowd of people and I can still be by myself. I can truly tune. I can't do it at concerts. And I can't do it if people are touching me. But if I'm outside, like, at a zoo and it's pretty packed, I can still figure out with Lorelei, our little group, how to kind of not interact and not how to allow the others affect me. So we're going to go this weekend and we're going to try to do a live stream this Sunday night, about this time, maybe a little bit later. Do a Christmas live stream for you guys. And then we're off to Dallas the next weekend. And we're going to try to do some live streaming for you and go to Jollibee. We got to go shopping. We got to go to this big mall in Dallas, Texas, and do some shopping, spend some money. And we're going to spend the night in Texas at my brother's house. And then we're going to come back Sunday after we hit Jollibee and buy 400 pounds of chicken, apparently. So apparently we're chicken truckers, trucking chicken. We are Super Reuben chicken back from Texas to Arkansas. So I think they're working on it, Tim. I still think they haven't quite got it there yet, but supposedly by the end of the week. Supposedly by the end of the week. John says, my old co-worker and his Filipino wife, school teacher, stayed over for a couple. Oh, nice. See, that's nice to have visitors once in a while. Especially ones that kind of carry their load, that are fun to be around and stuff. You know, ones that kind of you enjoy being around. The ones that, you know, we have people that we don't like that want to come and stay with us, you know. Just because they know us, they're like, oh, well, you know, when we're in town, we're going to stay with you. And I'm like, no, you're not. We don't have a room for you. Go away. You know, but if I liked you, I would make a room for you. You know, if you want to come stay at my house and I tell you, we ain't got no room, well, I don't like you. But if you want to stay here and I like it, well, we'll find a place to put you up. But, oh, man, no, that's horrible to me. We are leaving Lily in Dallas. We're going to leave her in Arkansas right here. I got a friend that's going to come and house sit Saturday night while we're in Texas. So we're not taking Lily with us on this trip to keep her home, keep her safe. And yes, Lorelai says Lily has bad breath. Tell them to stay in the garage in the dead of winter. Yeah, we got space in the garage, you know. There you go. Help yourselves. It's crazy. His wife gave my wife $500 to go play at the casinos 35 miles. Damn. Do they need to come to Arkansas for any reason, John? I got room. $500 will get you a room at my house. You know, just saying, $500 will open doors. So. While we're still trying to buy our real house, you know, $500 will get you a room at this one, a room at the inn, you know, so to speak. But that's nice. Lorelai has a bunch of Christmas parties to go to this winter, but I'm not going. I'm gonna opt out of all of the Filipino parties this holiday season. I don't think I'm going. I think I'm just gonna stay home and rest. And do something totally different. So, yeah. John had to delete that one real quick. Yeah, I'll dust off the couch, watch some TV, you know, maybe some new series on Hulu or something. You know, I'm going to try to get back into light weightlifting this winter. That's what I'm going to try to do. I just don't want to go. I don't want the drama. But we need a new couch. I like to have a new couch. But there are so many things that we need. I need a mobility scooter, a new one. $2,000 to $3,000. You need a new couch. $2,000 to $3,000. It's like everything is thousands of dollars, you know. It's crazy. Now, I will say this. We were at Sam's Club the other day. Because we go to Sam's, and we bought that freezer, by the way. You guys didn't see the video with Lorelai and her freezer. Lorelai is very excited. She has a new deep freezer. Yep, a new deep freezer. But we went to Sam's, and I was shocked how cheap TVs are. Have you guys noticed how cheap televisions are? I am shocked that you can buy like a 60-inch TV for less than $300 these days. Smart TV. HTN is in the house. Everybody say hello to Henry. Henry, how are you? How you feeling? My wife likes not going to all them parties, too much drama. Lorelai likes to go because she likes the food, and I encourage her to go. It gives me a break. I don't like it because I don't like the noise. We're not having a Christmas party this year. We usually do, but this year we're not having a Christmas party at our house. We're taking a break. Nothing is free anymore. I'm doing good. Just got home. Nice. Everybody said hello to Henry. John saying hello. Well, and that's kind of where I was going with that. a little bit. So we were at Sam's Club, but yes, Tim, yes. Now we have some really nice TVs here at our house, but what we noticed was the top of the line TV, right? The top of the line TV that was just super QLED for a 100-inch TV was $1,600. Only 3 years ago, that thing would have been $3,000, $4,000. Man. Everybody's saying hello to each other, but you also know that Walmart bought Vizio, correct? You guys all know that. Walmart now owns Vizio. But we did notice that. Yeah, I don't think the quality of the $300 TV is the greatest, but how good does it need to be for 300 bucks? But if you got 5, 6, 7, 800 bucks to drop, you can get a really nice TV these days, smart TV. And but they also had another one that was like an 80-inch TV that was $1,700. That was better quality, but smaller. So I'm just shocked that the prices have gone down. Maybe even more. Yeah, it's just crazy. But everything else, I mean, I don't know. We got a good buy on the freezer we bought because I did a bunch of internet research and figured it out. And I know we got a good buy comparatively to Lowe's, Home Depot, Amazon, Walmart, everybody else. But yeah, if you didn't know, about a year or more ago, Walmart bought the company called Vizio. And they didn't buy them necessarily for the TVs. They bought them for the access to everybody's shopping desires. So they bought the data. What Walmart wants from the Vizio TVs is they want the data from the customer watching the video TV is what they want. They want the data. I'm happy with my 42-incher. Yeah, I don't know what ours are. I thought about putting one here in my office, but I can just watch TV on the computer screen, I guess. But I don't need one in here. I don't know. We got 2 TVs and that's enough. We got one in the bedroom and one in here, and that's plenty. Yeah, well, we didn't need a big one. All we needed was a 7 cubic foot. So, and I looked around, and we went and measured and looked around, and 5 was too small, 7 was perfect. And what we did was, we bought it at Sam's Club. It's $199 at Sam's, but I had enough Sam's money, bonus points, whatever you want to call it, that it paid for more than half of the freezer. So I really got the freezer for about $90, brand new. And I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and I could buy used ones for $100 all day long, but they were used, and I got this one for $100 new. So that's why we did that. I don't want a TV in my room. I like having a TV in the bedroom. I'm a big, yeah. Hey, Pat, Henry says, hello, Brother Henry. Good to see ya. So Henry, you feeling better? Your tooth was bothering you there for a while. Did you get that all fixed? I can operate, remember. I played a doctor on a TV once. Just got home a little bit ago from the doctor's office. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the holiday parties this year. I'm kind of burned out, a little tired. So we're not going to be doing that. But we are going to do some outdoor stuff. Yeah, you're good now? All right, good. It sucks not to be good, You guys ready to see my scar? Give me a number 1 in the chat if you want to see my new scar. Come on. I know you guys do. I know you guys. Oh, no, still looking at houses? Somebody's spying on me outside. They're creeping the car real slow. Like, oh. Can I tell you something funny? Let me tell you something funny. You guys are going to find this funny. You know, at my house, I have a big old no soliciting sign. And it also says, don't knock, don't do anything. I don't give a shit who you are, what you want, what you're selling, what you're not selling. Don't knock on my door. The other day, a DoorDash driver, we don't do DoorDash or Grab, knocked on the door. And I answered the door, pulled the glass down, because hey, what's this car doing in my driveway? You better get out of my driveway. See, somebody's spying on me. You don't park in my driveway, boy. So, DoorDash driver shows up. I pull down the glass on the screen door and say, can I help you? And he's like, well, I got a delivery. And I said, well, I think you're at the wrong address. So what address are you looking for? And I gave him mine, and he said, no, I'm looking for this. He said, well, it's behind me. It's the house behind me. He's like, oh, thank you. And thank you for not yelling at me, because I saw your sign. I felt so bad for the guy, thanking me for not yelling at him because he saw the sign, at the front of my house. Oh, my God. Tim says, I was invited to a Christmas party yesterday, but I was still sick. Well, are you feeling better today, Tim? So they're going to move the Christmas party to today. Yeah, most of the houses I've seen have been completely trashed, but still looking all right. It takes time to find the right house, It does. It takes time. It does. My scar itches. My new pacemaker itches. I look at houses down where we want to live all the time, but I'm hoping to win the lottery and, conquer the world. But, so far, so far. It's winter time now, so we won't be moving anytime soon. I don't like to move during the winter. It's too cold, not enough buyers. I don't like it. That's funny. I got a call from DoorDash on Sunday, Henry says. It was from Utah, wanting to know why I haven't answered my DoorDash at the address. I don't even live in the state. I know, man. Wrong state, right? Well, at least they were going to be kind enough to call you to find out. Did you tell them? Well, just leave it at the door. It's all right. Just leave it at the door. Just drop it right there. It'll be all right. We don't do DoorDash or anything like that. One, we're trying not to eat out as much because we're poor. We're trying to save the money. We're trying to be a little healthier. So we really, I'm still sick. I can't even go downtown to the mall. Oh, go downtown and mail your paperwork yet. All right. Well, Tim, you don't want to leave that up to a third party to mail your paperwork. So you definitely got to do it yourself. So do you have a little case of the flu, or is it a head thing? What's going on, man? So, yeah, just wait it out until you feel better, because that's, mailing that paperwork is extremely important. You don't want somebody else to screw it up, And that's partly what I was asking you about the other day. If you had a way to mail it through the Philippines to America, because if not, I was going to suggest, look, you could just scan it in and email it to me or whatever. I could print it off and mail it if they didn't need originals for you, is what I was going to offer. But since you had the way through the military to do that, you're in good shape. I got my flu shot second day ago, and I'm starting to feel better. Not all good, Pat. Henry says, I told him to come on down to Mississippi, and I'd be happy to take a receipt of it. Yeah, just a major cold. Well, there's going to be a lot of people sick in Cebu. I'm telling you, getting through that flooded damage, I'm telling you, it's going to be an environmental mess for an environmental health mess. A lot of people are going to be have respiratory issues in Cebu over the next few weeks. I promise you, the next couple of months. Because if they don't get all that cleaned up and all that mold out of there, I'm telling you, we bad news in the Philippines for some of our people, but we're doing our best to help them. So I'm hoping they can get back on their feet. You haven't heard back from them yet? Talking about coming to Mississippi? Yeah, they probably won't do that. Probably cost you a little too much gas. But we don't, I don't know. Here in America, I haven't used them, so I don't know how much it really cost. But you see all these horrible videos about DoorDash people getting pissed off because they didn't get a big enough tip. Well, kiss my ass. You decided to do this. I'm not making you do it. You decided that you wanted to be a DoorDash driver. So I'm getting, that really irritates me, and I don't know. I'm just irritated by something. Flyby's got the flu, yes. I don't get the flu shot because I always get sick from the flu shot. Yes, a lot of people that way. I get them every year. I don't really care. Nothing makes me sick because I'm already sick. So I literally don't care. Give me anything. I don't care what it is. You got a drug or a vaccine you want to try out on me? Shit, just give it to me. I don't care. That's good that she's feeling better, Henry. Yep, Pat says. So that irritates me. Here's the other thing that's starting to irritate me in America. These people that are pissing and moaning online about not getting a big enough tip, and they're coming out and saying, if you can't afford to give me 20 or 25% tip, then you shouldn't come out and eat. And I think that is so asinine because I didn't make you be a waiter. You chose to be a waiter. You chose that field. So it comes with the territories. Tips, you got to work for, up or down. But to tell people, how do you think the restaurant owner feels when their waiters and waitresses are saying, if you can't tip me good, then you don't deserve or you can't afford to come to my restaurant. The restaurant that I work at, fine, I'll stay home. Any restaurant that mandates that I tip, I will never go into, ever. And I got money to eat out if I want to eat out. So we're selective now about the tipping thing. If that restaurant has a problem with tipping, we don't go there anymore. We won't do it. That's good, getting better. Yep, she finally is. It takes a while. The entitlement of doing something they get paid already for. Well, and Henry, I know the argument is, but we only make $2 an hour, whatever it is, $2.35, $4.35, I don't know. But they have chosen a job where you work for your money. The better you do, the more money you make. That's what they chose to do. If they didn't want to take a risk of not getting a full hour wage by getting tips, the amount of tips, they could go to work at Walmart. Walmart's already hiring, stocking shelves. I think they pay 14 or 15 bucks an hour out the door. Boom. Every day long. But they choose to take that gamble. Being my brother, the alcoholic who's dead now, he was a professional waiter. This is what he did. That's why he was an alcoholic, because he got booze free. But he was a professional waiter. And him and I have talked about this over the years. He's like, no. I'm choosing to do this because I'm gambling that I can make people give me more money than I would if I worked at Walmart. It's a gamble. It's a choice. But for service people to sit there and say, if you can't afford to give it to me, no matter what, no matter whether I suck or not, whether the food is shitty or not, you should give me the 25%, then you need to quit. You need to get a different job. It really is starting to bother me more and more because I think it's just so entitlement. Work for the money, you'll get the money. We tip very generously when we get good service. Really? Here they get paid about 15 an hour, they got to pay their own gas. All right. Be careful going to Joe's Crab Shack in Florida. Those waiters rip you off. Yeah, a lot of restaurants will pad the bill, and you got to be really careful. One thing I got a bad habit of, and I'll tell you, I got a really bad habit of when the check comes, I just pay it. I don't even bother, or even before the check comes, I give them my card and pay it. It's a horrible habit that I'm into, and I got to stop it. I got to do better at pulling. Lorelai will do it. Lorelai will look at the receipt. I just don't do it for some reason. A lot of times I just pay the bill. I barely look at the receipt, if I look at the receipt at all. So I got to get better at going, no, let me look at this. But Lorelai, and that's one thing I should do, is just say, here's the card, you pay the bill, because she'll look at it. She will analyze it and figure out what's happening. Me, I'm just like, whatever. Because I want to get out of there or go home or go do whatever I want to do. And I'm done eating, so it's time, well, just give me the damn bill. And of course, I still have a philosophy that I think is flawed, but I believe most people are relatively honest. I still trust people in a lot of ways, which is sad, because we can't trust people, especially when it comes to money. So that's something I got to do better at. Maybe I'll make that a New Year's resolution to, one, either look at the bills, or two, have Lorelai pay all of the restaurant bills, because she'll look at them. But for me, it's just easier to, I don't know. Because I know how much it is. I did the math in my head. Well, that's okay. So it's close. All right, we're good. But it's horrible. I'm telling you, man. But we'll probably eat, thinking of that. We're going to probably eat out Sunday night in Branson on the boardwalk. So I don't know where we're going to eat at. They do got a seafood place in there. And then Sunday we'll eat at Jollibee next weekend. We're going to do Jollibee and a couple of other restaurants in Texas. So maybe I can start this weekend when we go and eat. But one thing we do, guys, is the friends that go with us, when one particular couple goes with us, what we do is we usually eat communally. Meaning we share the hors d'oeuvres. We share that, and we don't really worry about who's ordering what. We just do what we want, and we kind of share around, with them. And so when the bill comes with them, I just split it down the middle. He pays half, I pay half. No matter what, no matter if he had 2 drinks and I had 1 drink. It doesn't matter. We just split it. So this Sunday will be that way, more than likely. But I just don't like this whole concept of these people leaving nasty notes for people saying, if you can't afford to give me 25%, and if you can't afford to tip me, then you don't deserve to get to go eat at this restaurant. How asinine is that? Why would a restaurant owner encourage that? Why? Because eventually people are going to go, wait a minute, we're not putting up with this. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. Man. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. But we are excited about the thing we're going to this weekend. We're going to the top of the rock. My thing itches. You guys want to see me? See, look how much that thing protrudes. It's like a mountain on my chest. It's not even muscle. But this weekend, we're going to a place called Top of the Rock. You might Google that. Top of the Rock is owned by Johnny Morris, who owns all the Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops in the country. And it's an outdoor wonderland, really is, overlooking the Ozark Mountains. And there's a trail with a bunch of caves that you drive through on a golf cart. And they decorate it for Christmas. So we're going to go up there and take this golf cart ride. It's probably an hour ride. I don't know. And it's going to be cold and a little miserable, but we'll be all right. We're going to make some videos from it. Hopefully we're going to live stream when we get down to the Landing in Branson, which is basically just like a big old strip mall with restaurants and, fountains on the river. It's boardwalk. It's a boardwalk. If you didn't know, Branson, Missouri has a boardwalk. So we'll probably just go there, try to live stream to see everybody Sunday night, have a good time, eat somewhere. I don't know what we're doing, but that's what we're doing. So we're looking forward to it. I mean, you guys I thought about spending the night up at the top of the rock this summer because it has beautiful sunset views. But the cheapest room I could find was like $300 a night. I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't happening. So Henry says, yep, I know that area. Yeah, the top of the rock, it's top of Branson, But Johnny Morris, beautiful place. Big Cedar Lodge is all part of that, which is a really cool place to stay. If you guys want a really cool outdoor experience, Big Cedar Lodge is a very cool place to stay. And it's not expensive as Top of the Rock. I was going to take Lorelei there for our anniversary dinner when I realized that the cheapest on the menu was the cheapest thing on the menu is $18. I mean, that's the cheapest thing. I went, well, between the $300 to $400 a night hotel room and the dinner that would probably cost me $200 to have a hamburger, I think we will skip spending the night and staying there. But this Christmas thing, what you do is, it's $50 or $49.95, whatever. So what you do is you drive up there, you get out, you check in. They already have golf carts set up for you. So I don't got to use my mobility scooter, luckily, because it's not a walking trail. And then you get to go through the winter wonderland at your own pace, through the caves and the water fountains, take all the pictures and videos you want. And then they got also a historical museum there. I think we'll do the historical museum first because it's going to close by the time we're out of there. I don't know. I got to look at the ticket and find out what time. We have a scheduled time that we have to be there. So you book a slot. And so that's our slot to get the golf cart. And that's basically what you do. You drive through, take pictures, have a good time, listen to Christmas music, make fun of each other, freeze to death. If you want to buy a $20 hot cocoa, you could probably buy a $20 hot cocoa. They do have a concession stand there. They probably got a photographer there selling you $900 pictures. So, but it's a beautiful place, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to see how that works. We may also go to Crystal Bridges this winter and try to take you guys on a live stream with us to Crystal Bridges Museum, which has a great outdoor Christmas setting. And you can, sidewalk it. Tim says, I'm not even sure if I will have Thanksgiving dinner this year. Well, you can come to our house. We're having Thanksgiving. We are, that's the weekend after we get back from Dallas. We're doing Thanksgiving. All we're doing for Thanksgiving, and I know Lorelei will decorate the table, Thanksgiving-y, how she does. She wants to make it look like a 5-star dining room table for us 5 people that are going to eat here. So I've ordered it, Thanksgiving, through a grocery store. So I pre-ordered Thanksgiving dinner already. Now, Lorelei wants me to go and order her a caramel cake, but I think we're not going to do that. I think I'm going to pretend I forgot to order the cake and maybe get it for Christmas because we'll have a lot of food, and we're going to have cheesecake anyway. I'm going to go to Sam's and buy a cheesecake. So, hello, did somebody call for God? I've been a little busy. Well, no, but we're glad you're here. We are glad you're here. So, and we're going to eat Thanksgiving dinner, traditional American Thanksgiving dinner. Henry says, I am hoping for a new house by Thanksgiving. Well, I hope you get one too. I hope you do. It's always nice to finally own your own home. I hate being a renter. I'm not a good renter. I got to admit, that was part of my problem living in the Philippines. I hated being a renter. I hate it. I hate it here. I'm not a good renter. I mean, I'm a good renter because I pay and I don't mess up your property, but I hate being there. Good to see you, brother Dennis. Dennis, I don't know where all the women are. I think I've scared all the women away. They ask me my opinion, I tell them, and they run away. So, hey, Dennis from Henry. Dennis says, hello, buys arm candy. Hi, how are you today? We haven't seen Tita Marie in a while. She, nice lady, came from Canada. We haven't seen her in a while. They will be back, Pat says. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, Pat, ex-Pat. We haven't heard from the other Patricia in a while either, or the other girls. I've never liked owning a house. Really, Tim? I love it. I don't like the thought of not being able to do whatever the hell I want to do. Maybe I have a control issue. I don't want anybody to tell me what I can and cannot do. If I want to cut that damn wall down, I'll cut that damn wall down. You know what I mean? I just don't like, I don't know. Maybe when I get old, if I live that long, I don't know. But right now, we've rented in between houses, buying and selling, and I hated it. I hate it. I hate this place I'm renting. They keep raising the rent, and nothing gets fixed unless I fix it. Well, there you go. Tim says, I'll be back in a few minutes. I am lazy to upkeeping a house. IMO. So John doesn't like to own. You don't like to do the housework. Well, I don't necessarily want to do a lot of stuff. I just want to know that I can. And I would never want anybody to, I guess growing up, when we were growing up, we were really poor. We still are, but we were poorer back then as kids. And we always rented places. I mean, rented houses. I remember this. And I remember so many times at this one place we lived there for years, the old man who owned the house would get mad because there were times my dad was late on the rent. And I remember seeing him and his nasty attitude. And it just, I guess from that point of view, I don't want a landlord. I don't want anybody giving me any shit. Ozzy's in the house. How are you, Ozzy? Good to see everybody. Say hello to Ozzy. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I just don't want people giving me any shit. And I remember that old man giving my dad shit because he was late on the rent. Now, he shouldn't have been late on the rent. He wouldn't got any shit. I get it, right? But I don't want to be given any shit. Hello, Ozzy from Pat. Good to see you, Ozzy. My wife got the house in the Philippines on a big old square meter lot in Valencia, close to Dumaguete. Nice. Yeah, we haven't decided what Lorelai's going to do for retirement. We're leaning more and more towards, I don't know, we kind of go wishy-washy, but I still think it would be smarter for her to live out her days in America. But we do have a plan that if she wants to do the Philippine thing and live there, she can do it. So we're going both directions. I'm building a pathway to both directions. H.N. says, hello to Ozzy. I say, hello, Pat. So, Ozzy, what is going on in your part of the world? Nice and cold? What, winter finally come to you? But I just kind of remember that old man, having power. I guess that's what I saw. I saw that old fart that owned that house as somebody who has power over us. And I didn't like that. So I don't want anybody to have power over me. I just don't. I have a real problem with authority. Oh, he's long dead by now, Pat. I mean, no, he's long. I think he died after we moved from there because he was really old and his son took over the properties. But Oh, he's long dead. I'm sure he was probably in his 60s, 70s when I was a kid. So, unless he's 200 years old. But still, you know, I have a problem with authority. You know, I just don't tolerate you thinking you have authority over me. So, no, we don't do that, Henry. I don't leave things to chance. Henry says, flip a coin and go where it's from to retiring. I built my mother-in-law a cement house in the mountains and told her to keep fixing the bamboo house. Nice, John. That's good. We're in the 30s here in New Hampshire. We're at 50 degrees down where we're at. Well, for us, it's kind of like we have land and stuff, and we can build a nice house, and we may. But I'm just going down both roads. I'm giving her the option to be debt-free in America and debt-free in the Philippines. That's my goal. So if Lorelai's health is a little rough, and she has a good support system here in Arkansas or in Alabama or Florida, wherever we wind up, if she has a good support system that I'm working on building right now for her after I'm gone and wants to stay here, no worries. If she doesn't and feels like she wants to go live in the Philippines where she knows people, okay, she'll be set up to do it. But I have a strategy right now, since we don't have any children, for Lorelai to have extended family around her when I'm gone. We're working on that right now. I'm paying for that right now. John says, I like the hot weather. I do too, man. I don't like this cold weather. So I'm working on that. We're going to put somebody through high school, college, bring them to America as a nurse. That it's a ways away, but, and if that doesn't work, you know, I really am. I'm coming up with, either way, she'll be free, debt free. That's my goal. Debt free is the way to go. Whether I flip flop back and forth, I don't know. Maybe we do a 7 and 5. We've talked about doing 7 and 5. So 7 here, 5 in the Philippines, or 6 and 6, something like that. So we don't know what we're going to do. I'm just paving both roads in case. That's all I can do, just in case. But I truly don't leave. Now, even if I make a mistake, which I've done a lot of, if I've done my homework and I've laid a pathway, and I get to the end of that pathway and go, well, shit, I screwed the pooch on this one, well, then that's on me. I'll back up and redo it. Oz says, I like the 4 seasons, the 4 Seasons Hotel, or the 4 seasons like winter, spring, summer, and fall. I don't. I've learned myself, you miss it. If you're not around the 4 seasons, you miss it. If you're living, like, you know, a lot of guys in the Philippines says, you know, like Tim and all these people living in there forever, like, no, I don't miss fall, or I don't miss the snowy weather. But deep down, there's a longing, oh yeah, you know, we grew up in that situation, so we're used to it. So it's kind of ingrained into us. So we do have a little bit of a longing from it. Doesn't mean that we're going to put any effort to make it happen. But a lot of people living overseas, you know, like in tropical climates, they go, yeah, sure, it would be nice to see fall again. Well, all I know is when you're retired, things don't go as planned for most of the time. So sometimes it's like flipping a coin and hope for the best. Yep, I'm retired now. Been retired for a while. And I was supposed to be in Florida already, so that didn't happen. But I was also supposed not to die and be in a coma. So, you know, it definitely doesn't go as planned. So, retirement for me, or my pathway, is to make sure my wife is taken care of. Fall and spring to me is the best time of the year. Yeah, I like spring. Fall's okay, but it usually seems like spring is too short and fall is too short. If you could have like a 2 or 3 month long spring, you know, or a 3 to 4 month long fall, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, I know, the extortion. 43-day longest government shutdown. Should be fixed by the end of the year, end of the month, John. I mean, end of the week. Pat says, I am happy, I'm retired, I can relax and go to the Philippines for vacations. Yeah, and that's kind of part of my thing. I don't really see the Philippines as a vacation hotspot. It doesn't, I mean, Pat's single, so he's still looking to get hooked up with a Filipina. So I get that, right? But for us old married men like John and I, or some, maybe John's different, but I don't mind the Philippines. But there's so many other places in the world that I'd like to go for vacation other than the Philippines. Right? Henry says, that would be great. Yeah, I do think the government shutdown will be over by the end of the week. And once again, the Democrats will have to admit defeat. I'm just, oh my God. I mean, you couldn't write this. You couldn't write our history, right? You couldn't write what's going on. But that's kind of, from a vacation standpoint, the Philippines is okay, but if you've been there, done that, why would you keep going there doing that? I get it if there's women involved, but for me, it's like I think about, man, I like to go to Spain. I would like to go to, Switzerland. There's God, the St. John Islands. I mean, there's so many places. John says, I just swim and eat food. So you're kind of like a manatee. John's a manatee when he's in the Philippines. He just swims and eats. After you get moved in your house, you're going to surprise Bai in the Philippines. I'm not going to tell her I'm coming. Well, that's good. Hopefully she doesn't got a boyfriend when you show up and knock at the door. Hopefully there's not a man not answering the door when you get there if she doesn't know you're not coming. So well, if he's not coming, you got to buy me another man. I'm lazy to travel. I love to travel. I wish my legs were good, so traveling was easier, to be honest. But I'm one of those people, do you guys ever remember what the Discovery Eco Challenge was? That great big eco race where these teams had to go across all of this horrible terrain, swim and climb mountains. Man, I have the adventure spirit. I would have been one of those guys. If my body was good enough, I would have been one of those crazy idiots. So traveling to me is one of the funnest things. It's very stressful, but it's fun. But we like cruises, safe, easy. But there's just, the Philippines is fine, but Jamaica, God, Egypt would be, there's just, well, maybe not there, probably get killed. But there's just so many places where we wouldn't get killed that I would like to go to. And that's kind of would be our long-term plan, is to go places where we wouldn't get killed, so that we could enjoy those countries, at least for a week or two. I don't know. I like to go back to Aruba. Aruba was a blast. Henry says, that's why I'm not telling her I'm coming. It's the best way to see everything. You might see a whole lot more than you expect. John likes the saunas, the hot saunas. Cruise ships have saunas. John, did you know that? You got to pay for them, but they got them. Sam's is selling a portable sauna. Lorelai and I were there. We saw that Sam's Club has their own portable sauna. It's a pop-up sauna. I know. We had to figure out what it was. It took us a minute or two. And then we kind of figured out what it was. And went, we get it. Because I didn't know what it was. But Sam's Club is selling a portable sauna. You could take it with you everywhere you go, John. Our brother David looking for another Filipina to get married? Yeah, and you should. You should, Pat. I don't disagree, and I think it's a good thing to do. I just, I got a travel bug in me, and I know that. I don't have the body for a travel bug. But I do have a travel bug, and I love to travel. I love to experience new things and see new things. Because I'm absolutely one of these people that once I've been there, done that, I've been there, done that. I don't need to see it again. Like, yeah, okay, well, you've seen the pyramids, I've already been there. I mean, I haven't, but if I had been. The only difference would be the Grand Canyon. I went to the Grand Canyon, it blew my mind. I would love to go back to the Grand Canyon. I've been to Aruba, I'd go back there to a different part of Aruba. We've been to the DR, don't need to go back. We've been the Cozumel, don't need to go back. You know, I'm a bed bug. There you go. Well, bed bugs don't like saunas. I thought they die at 140 degrees. Isn't that what you do at saunas, John? What's the temperature of your sauna? Typical sauna ranges between 150 degrees Fahrenheit and 195. I'm thawing out pork belly. What temp does a bed bug die? Bed bugs will die at 120 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm thawing out pork belly. I don't know. That information was above my polio grade. That's why you employ me, John, to do your bidding for you. We had mung bean and pork rib today. I'm going to make some mung bean and coconut cream and pork, I think, next week. So, but we had mung bean and pork rib today for lunch and dinner is what we had. It was good. It was pretty good. My scar, you guys want to see my wound? It itches. I had a pot of chili for dinner, Pat says. Dinner and chili's good. I'm going to be making a bunch of soups this winter. I just got to get motivated. Kenesha, how are you doing? Kenesha from New York. New York, New York. I'm doing good, Kenesha. Everybody said hello to Kenesha. Kenesha says she said hi. They might. Cold treatment, they can also be killed by temperature below 0 Fahrenheit, John. But they got to be at that temperature for at least 4 days. That's crazy, man. 4 days. Kenesha says, how are you doing, young Mr. Philippine Pat? Doing good, doing good. HDN says hello to you. Kenesha from New York. New York. New York's going to be a mess this coming year. I think they're going to really realize how broke, New York City's going to realize how really broke they are. Kenesha says she's doing good. That's good. We're all doing good, pretty good too. We're all staying busy, trying to stay warm, Kenesha, all that good stuff. Excited about holidays coming up. I had mung bean and pork rib soup is what we had. Going bonkers and yonkers. They are going to go bonkers and yonkers. Or they're going to go yonking and bonking, you know, or something. Yanking and bonkers. I don't know what they're going to be doing up there. John, do you hear a whole lot about Dearborn, where you're living at now, in that part of the woods? Do you hear a whole lot about the Dearborn, Michigan? I think you're in Minnesota, but do you kind of hear about them a lot up there? Pat had chili for dinner. Kenesha had biscotti for dinner. I had pork mung beans and pork rib soup. Does anybody in here know what mung bean is? If you've been to the Philippines, you do. So, Henry, what did you have for dinner? Tim, it is not dinner time for Tim. And Dennis is back in the background having tacos. So, Dennis likes his Colombian tacos. No, I'm 40 miles east of Fargo, North Dakota. Okay. I wasn't for sure exactly where you were. All right. Oh, no, there's a lake close to you that sounds like Minnesota, right? Lake Minnesota, there's a lake by you, right, John? That kind of makes you think of Minnesota? Yep, I like mung beans, little green. Yeah, I like them too. I like them. I like them in soups. Mung beans good. Get them at the Asian store. You got to soak them first overnight, and then you can cook them pretty easily. Henry says, I got another puppy. Got another dog? Nice. Not me. I still just have Lily, who Lorelai says her breath stinks, and now I got a doggy toothbrush and doggy toothpaste coming from Amazon. Yeah, but there's a lake that you've been going to or something, John. Lake Detroit? Or something like that? You've been around Lake Detroit or something like that? Or what kind of dog did you get, Henry? I'm eating. I have no clue what that is, but it sounds good. Schuler Bricui. I have no clue what that is. But I can't pronounce it. Don't know what it is, but it kind of sounds or looks like it might be something good. Except for maybe it looks like it might have sauerkraut or something sour in it. You know, Schuler's Bakewee. I don't know. Bakwe. But we debate. I really would like to have another dog. Lorelai is not so in tune on having another dog. Because Lily, is 8 going on 9 years old now. Daisy's dead, of course. And I like to replace Daisy because I miss my dog. But Lorelai has a couple of valid points. All right. Detroit Lakes. All right. See, I knew there was something. But Lorelai has a couple of valid points in the fact that if we got another dog today, it would be 8 years younger than Lily. Meaning Lily would die and we'd still have a dog for another, however long, theoretically. And that makes her having a dog after I die more than likely. So, so she's thinking, well, if I die, and now she has to take care of a dog or 2 dogs, it's going to be a lot of work for her. And then, of course, the other thought is if we travel back and forth, well, we're not going to be able to do that with dogs. So as much as I really like to have my Daisy back, I don't know if we should get another dog. My wife is working, Kenesha, right? It helps. Yeah, my dog needs a playmate, and that's kind of the big debate. I need my dog. I need another dog. I want another dog. Lily would benefit from having another dog. Don't let the kids around the smaller, tiny dogs. My old dog, that's good. But it means extending out, taking care of animals for many more years. And that means it handicaps our travel, our situation, costs money. So there's a negative and a positive side to getting another dog. So at this point, I guess where I'm at with getting another dog is if a female long-haired wiener dog pops up, shows up into our life, a puppy, then it's meant to be. One, we can't spend $2,500 on a puppy. That's what they are. They're about $2,500. I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a dog. But we ran across something somewhere, somehow, and somebody, blah, blah, blah. Well, then that might be a yes. So right now, we are not actively seeking, even though we look, we're not actively seeking another dog, even though I'd like to have one. Fargo, North Dakota has a lot of doggy parks. That's good. They have a lot of dogs. So here the homeless people live in the doggy parks. They a lot of times you'll see people sleeping in the like the tunnel thing that they have at dog parks, like a dog housey tunnel looking thing that they're supposed to run through. So we've gone to dog parks and places and been surprised that there's somebody in there. Do not. My son and I eventually will get 2 winter dogs, full-blooded, $300 a piece plus tax in Columbus, Indiana. Wow, that's really cheap. You can't get anything like that anywhere we can find anywhere. We can't find real wiener dogs for, less than $1,800. Time tunnels, maybe, John, maybe. We just can't. Real ones, breaded ones. If somebody had some at home and had some puppies, maybe you could get them for a few $100, which we're hoping, which is the way we got both of our dogs originally. But right now so we're at that crossroads where, we're probably not going to buy one. We're not going to buy one, and we're just not going to get one unless somebody says, donut, donut, donut. So I missed the dog tremendously. I dropped a short video that I found of her from about 5 years ago. It broke my heart, but I made a short video. She's out there on my YouTube channel now of Daisy, the one that passed away. Being so cute, standing up on her hind legs, begging me for food. Or begging me to pick her up and pet her. I wouldn't do it, so she gets a little sassy with me. But we'll have to wait and see. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not, it won't be. So kind of got to just roll with it at this point. But Henry, did you ever say what type of dog you got? We definitely won't do cats. We had a cat before, but we won't ever do a cat before. I don't like cats. I don't mind cats. I just don't like how much effort you got to put into taking care of them. We were going to, I'll tell you, we're going to Dallas in a couple weeks, and I was going to put Lily in a doggy kennel. Oh, you didn't get one yet. Okay. I thought you said you got one. Maybe I misread. I'm going to wait till you get the house. But I was going to take Lily to the doggy daycare place and have her spin the thing, and I found one that I liked. And I was going to give her the luxury suite. But, since we got somebody who's going to stay here, we don't have to waste the money on that. But Lily's sensitive to light. She likes, what I didn't like is they wouldn't let me bring any blankets for Lily to sleep under. They're going to give her a really nice room. Really nice. It has its own TV in it, its own couch. But there's no, it's all leather, it's faux leather. But you can't bring any blankets because they're worried about contaminants. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work for me because my dog likes to sleep under nice blankets. So where is she going to, so, yeah. But my friend is in town. He said, I'll just be happy to come and stay at the house. I told him, come on, stay at the house. We're going to leave early. He'll come here in the evening. He's going to leave out about noon, and we get back around 6 or 7 in the evening. So Lily will be alone for about 4 to 5 hours, a couple of times, but we'll be back and he'll be here. And he's somebody we can absolutely trust. He won't steal anything from us. Our last house sitter stole from us. A friend of ours' daughter walked off with, probably $10,000 worth of jewelry. And we didn't notice it because we weren't looking for it. So we know that ain't gonna happen this time. He's definitely somebody I can trust with stuff. So, but that's what we're doing for Lily. But apparently her breath stinks, so she's getting a toothbrush and some doggy peanut butter flavored toothpaste. And I'm like, all right. Sounds like a scam to me. Sounds like a, little bit of a ripoff, right? Yeah, Never had a house sitter. We've had them. My niece did it for us when she lived close, trusted her, no problems. So we've had house sitters from time to time. I actually like house sitters when you have pets. I like them. Because I don't want the pets to go to other places. So I like it, when somebody can stay here. Now, if we knew, like if our neighbor had pets and our dog was at their house all the time, I was like, the last time we went somewhere, first time we went to Dallas this year, we left Lily with our friend Giovanna Michelle, right? And so since she knows them really well, she went into their house and stayed and enjoyed it, had a good time. They really liked having her. But this trip to Dallas, they're actually going with us. So they're actually going to Dallas with us. So my friend, my 80-something-year-old friend who I trust is going to come over. He's excited because, one, I think he's a little lonely. Two, we have a whole lot more TV channels than he does, and he likes to watch old movies. So I've showed him how to watch all the old movies on my TV. So I think he's excited about all the old movies he can watch. So it'll be a good thing. But I'm excited. You guys should be excited. I hope Lorelai's going to spend some money. I'm going to try not to when we go to Dallas. But it should be a good trip for everybody. We got to go to Jollibee. Like I said earlier, we're going to bring back like 400 pounds of chicken. I told Lorelai what we need to do is get a heated cooler, load it up with chicken, bring it back, tell all the Filipinos in the community to meet us at Walmart parking lot and start selling it. Double the price, right? If a chicken thigh costs us $1 at Jollibee, well, it costs them $3 or $4 a chicken breast or whatever. And see if we can make some money up doing that way. That might be a good side hobby, a good side hustle, right? Is buy up all the chicken you can get at Jollibee in Dallas and drive it back and tell everybody to meet you at 5 o'clock at a Walmart parking lot and start selling. Selling. Get some Joy Burgers, I guess. Get maybe 100 of those and, crazy. But I don't know. All right, so we're getting close to 9 o'clock. Got a bunch of people in here. Want to thank everybody for coming in. I think it's time. I'm getting tired. I'm getting wore out. So I think it's time for me to hang up my cleats for the night. Go get some rest. Scratch my wound because it itches like crazy. So I guess that means it's healed. But the scar doesn't itch. It's this part right here. Right up in here. See, that's the scar. Dennis, appreciate you as always. Everybody, we appreciate y'all. Take care. Time for this old guy to get some rest. Pat, we appreciate you. Kenesha, everybody's been in the house tonight. We appreciate y'all. If we don't see you before then, which you might see me Saturday, you should watch for me on Sunday night at this time. Sunday night. No, I got to go to bed, Kenesha, but I appreciate it. There's probably a lot of other good live streamers out there besides me that's still alive. So, John, appreciate you, my friend. Get some rest. Take care, everybody.